Hi everyone, I am Armando, Choco chocolate maker for Mahogany Chocolate. Thank you for joining me and welcome to this Choco con Choco chat. This is the first episode of a series called Mahogany Chocolate, from tree to bean to bar, that we will be having over the next few weeks. So in this first episode, we will be talking about Mahogany Chocolate, who we are, where we're located, our cacao source, the people that work with us, our facilities, and our processes. So in future episodes, we will be talking into much more details about these processes, our facilities, and our people. So for now, I want to thank you once again, and I will answer any questions you may have at the end of the presentation. So thank you very much. So let's talk about who we are. We are a bean-to-bar chocolate company, but much more than that. We not only make our chocolate bar from the bean, we make it also from the seeds. We take our seeds, we grow our own trees, we process the beans coming out from our trees, and then we take those beans and process them into finished chocolate product. And we started in 2016, but 2016 is when the idea came about with our founders, but it's not until 2017 that we started. And we're located right here in the Toledo district. You can see that red dot there, that red area, that's the Toledo district. That's where we're located. And our headquarters is in Punta Gorda, tiny Punta Gorda. Our farms are located in Criquijute, San Jose, San Pedro, Colombia, and villages. And we have cultivated currently 5 farms, approximately 110 acres currently planted, and another 30 acres to be planted by the end of this year. So Mahogany Chocolate was founded by 2 great individuals, David Sewell and Darren Doyle. These individuals have had years of experience in business development and managing business and operating businesses. But more so, maybe 4 or 5 years before starting the cacao business in Belize, they've started a coffee operation. So in Panama, they operate a coffee farm, vertically integrated business. They have their own coffee plantation, they have their own wet mill, and they are now roasting and packaging coffee for coffee lovers, specialty coffee that is. And so in 2016, when on a fact-finding mission to Belize, David stumbled across hordes of cacao beans in warehouses in the Toledo district, and visited farmers, spoke to many individuals that are participating in the cocoa industry, farmers, people who are purchasing and selling cacao beans, people who are making chocolate, visited chocolate making companies here in Belize. And so he was really inspired and also saw the opportunities that exist. Because at that time, there was very limited market for a lot of the farmers' cacao beans that he visited. And he thought that why not take Belize's cacao beans to the world? And he also recognized the flavor profile of Belize's beans. It's very good. It's special, and it's very limited when compared to the global supply. And so he thought, it's a great idea. Let's take advantage of this opportunity and let's help the people of the Toledo district by providing an alternative market for them. And so that's how it started. We went back to Panama, spoke with his colleague, and in 2017, his colleague Darren Doyle, and in 2017, came back to Belize and started the work. Immediately, they acquired cacao farm, one cacao farm that is 30-acre land And on that land, there was about 4 acres of cacao beans cacao trees on that farm. And we immediately started to cultivate it, and simultaneously started to plant new trees by extracting cacao seeds from his existing trees there and propagating it in his own proprietary nursery. That by the end, 6 months later, in 2017, the entire 30-acre of land in San Pedro, Colombia was planted. And a couple of months later, they've identified several other land, and that by the end of 2017 going to 2018, then the entire, 30 acres, all 80 acres of land were planted with cacao. And so it started for them. And by the end of 2018, an additional amount of land was added to the lot. So, but now we're making chocolate. And obviously, that was 2017. Today is 2020, 3 years later. Certainly, we don't have a lot of cacao beans coming from those trees. And so our cacao source currently comes from 150 cacao farmers spread across Toledo district in approximately 16 communities, 16 villages. These growers cultivate on average 2 acres of cacao. They are subsistence growers. They also cultivate other crops, ground food to supply or to supplement their household. And cacao is basically a cash crop for them. And we've identified their strength there in paying attention to their farm, cultivating their farm, but market was lacking. And so we have decided to purchase cacao beans from these 150 cacao growers. And in 2018, they've supplied approximately 25 tons of fermented and dried cacao beans to Mahogany chocolate. That's approximately 80 to 90 tons of wet cacao beans that we purchased from them during that production cycle. These growers, they do well on their farm. They ensure that the trees are harvested on time. They ensure that the trees are being taken care of during the year by pruning, by ensuring that they're clean. So a lot of weeding takes place during the year. And so we recognize that the farmers do that best, and we want for them to be able to continue to cultivate. And so us purchasing cacao beans from them, ensuring that they are paid right on time, and 100% also when they sell their crop, means a lot to us. It means that we are in business together with them, but more so, they're also satisfied knowing that they have a market. And so direct trade is what we're all about. We go directly to our growers to source our cacao beans. But we also have our 10 acres of cacao farm. While we recognize that the growers can supply us the cacao beans, and based on our projections and the sales that we intend to have over the course of the next couple of years, that we will need much more cacao other than just sourcing from our growers. And we also need to ensure that we have consistent supply. And so we've embarked in 2017 in planting our own trees. And of course, it's not haphazardly planting cacao trees. We have to ensure that we get the right varietals. Of course, in Belize, we cultivate primarily Trinitarian cacao. But we want special trees, special seeds, special beans coming from these trees. And so the source of the material must also be good. And so our team spent a lot of time researching, identifying those super mother trees and extracting materials from them and propagating them. We cultivate them in our nursery, ensuring that they're well taken care of, they're weeded all the time, they are water is applied to them on a timely basis, and that when they're ready to be transplanted, that they are transplanted on the field carefully, in the right spacing, with the right shade. So there's a lot of work that needs to, that is done on the farm to ensure that we produce one of the best. And so far, right now, our trees are 3 years old, going to 4 years, and they're doing well. I'm happy to say that. Now we have 110 acres of them all cultivated. Another 30 acres will be cultivated, will be planted by the end of this year. And so having more trees then will ensure that we have consistency in the supply of cacao beans for our chocolate club. Now that we cultivate our farm, we also ensure that we ferment and dry our cacao beans further. So that's a secondary stage of our process where we collect all the wet beans from our farms, we ferment and dry them at our centralized processing facility. So normally when cacao is ready to be harvested, our team will go to the farm, extract the beans from the pod and take them to our centralized processing facility, all within 4 hours after harvest. But we also have from our farmers, 150 farmers that we work with currently. So what happened, or the process for that is our buying team go every Friday and Saturday or every weekend collecting cacao beans from the farmers. Our growers know by defined schedule that our collection team will come to their home to collect the beans. And so them knowing that allow them ample time to go to the farm, harvest the beans, and have it available for us. And this system, this method ensures that we get our wet cacao beans within 12 hours into our 12 hours from harvest into our fermenting and drying depot. And at this stage, the beans are fermented. They go through a 6 to 7 day period where they're loaded on wooden boxes and they go through their process, developing flavors, and after 6 or 7 days, once it satisfies the requirement or the checklist of our people there or specialists there at the depot monitoring these processes, then they are taken out and go to the next stage, which is drying. At that stage, during drying process, again, it's another critical process for us. We want to ensure that we dry our beans properly, and we use passive solar energy drying, no mechanical or conventional systems as yet. We are relying strictly on the sun to dry our beans, and so we have to ensure that we pay attention to this process also. We want to make sure that our beans are dried and that they have the right moisture, somewhere between 6.5 to 7% in moisture, and before they're deemed acceptable and ready to go for packing and sorting. Sorting and packing. And sorting is another important aspect for our process. I can recall visiting some friends elsewhere when they acquire cacao beans on the bulk market, that there's a lot of foreign objects in their cacao beans, a lot of shriveled beans. For us, we want to ensure that we have only the right beans. And so our team at Mahogany Chocolate go out there to our depot team to help them in selecting the cacao beans, or at least going over the requirement of selecting good beans. And these are eliminating all the shriveled beans, eliminating most pre-germinated beans, eliminating any foreign objects that may find its way during all the harvest, the transportation, and the fermenting and drying process. These could be small placentas from the cacao beans, it could be small rocks, small pebbles that may find their way out there. And so all of these are eliminated, and we end up having just very good, high quality cacao beans, properly fermented, properly dried, ready for our mahogany chocolate team to pick up and to bring to our facility. After that process, the fermenting and drying process, and the sorting and the packing, then we go into chocolate making. It's at that stage that the chocolate making process starts. Uh, so we take the cacao beans, select them once more, because while our team do a very good job selecting majority of the unwanted beans, there sometimes can be some slippage where you will have some small beans, shriveled beans that may end up in the lump. And so again, here at our Mahogany Chocolate Factory, we ensure that we take or we pick those and again have just superior cacao beans that goes into the roasting. So our beans are roasted and we let it cool for a few minutes, and then we start cracking and winnowing. We crack the beans, the skin are removed, and we end up with nibs. And from the nibs, we process and we make them into cocoa mass. And then from cocoa mass, we go into refining. And at this refining stage, that is where we add our ingredients. If we're making dark chocolate or we're making milk chocolate, we add our ingredients there, and we have our finished product. Now, some of our finished product then would be our professional range products, and these include cacao nibs, cacao butter, cacao moss, couvertures, and cacao powder. So these product goes primarily to pastry chefs or other other entrepreneurs out there making their own finished chocolate products, be it chocolate bar or pralines or bonbons. So these are the type of businesses or entrepreneurs that would utilize or use these professional range products. And so we have chocolate for those as well. And then, of course, for us, we also produce our full range of chocolate bar. When we started, we've basically analyzed that we import a lot of cacao beans, we put a lot of chocolate in the leaves, and then majority of the chocolate companies that were existing at the time, they were producing chocolate primarily for the tourism market, and of course, it's available for the local market, but for reasons unknown at the time, it's very difficult for the local consumers to, one, acquire the taste for dark chocolate, and two, afford the price of a good tasting dark chocolate. And dark chocolate is very expensive. And to begin with, the cocoa beans that Belize's produce is among one of the highest in price because of its flavor profile, because of its quality. And so the price is already up there. And so it makes it even much more difficult for our local consumers to purchase. And so we set forth to make chocolate for everyone. And we came up with our Brockdown chocolate bar. Our Brockdown chocolate is a 50-gram chocolate bar, a dark milk basically. It's a 50% dark milk. And so it's basically a hybrid between dark chocolate and milk chocolate. And it contains some almond and some peanuts and some cacao nibs inside. And today I'm happy to say that it's a great treat for Belizeans. In fact, it's one of our highest seller chocolate bar among the others. Then we also have our dark chocolate, or dark range chocolate under the Belizean brand. We have our 80% dark chocolate and our 72% dark chocolate. Then we've added recently our 57% dark milk chocolate, 44% milk chocolate, and our revered 37% white chocolate. So we have chocolate for everyone. So we want to make sure that we don't leave anyone behind. So if you're someone that will enjoy a nice piece of dark chocolate, then for sure we recommend our 80%. But from time to time, if you want to treat yourself and give yourself that extra boost by adding a little sugar, then you want to go extreme, or a white chocolate will give you that fix. And coming soon, we'll be having our Choco chocolate drink. So this is basically a ready mix chocolate powder, and all you need to do is you add your hot water or even more milk, mix, and you have your chocolate drink. And so I think that this will be a great hit. We supply this chocolate drink at our factory outlet store here, and a lot of people consume our chocolate drink, but now we want to make it available for them and for the rest of our consumers as well. So we've developed our ready mix drink, and that will be available within 1 month from now. And again, we take great pride in making our chocolate, and our team in the farm, they ensure that the trees are well taken care of. Our team at the depot, they ensure that the beans are fermented, are dried properly, because they want to ensure that we make good quality chocolate with them. And that's critical for us. We want to make a very good product, and that's what we have been doing. And so we take great pride in doing that. So our founders basically adopt our chocolate of the people, for the people, and by the people of Belize. So this is basically a quick summary of who we are, where we're located, what we do, what our processes look like. And in the future episode, we'll be talking more about our facilities. We will be looking at deeper about our farm, our nursery, our centralized processing depot. We'll be looking deeper into our chocolate factory. We'll be talking a lot more about some technical details during the future episode. And for now, that's basically it for Mahogany Chocolate, about who we are, our short story. And I want to thank you for listening in and joining me. And I want to encourage you to stay tuned when we announce to air the next episode of our Choco on Choco. And with that, I want to thank you once more.